Hello, MotoAmerica fans. It's time for another episode of Off Track with Carruthers and Bice. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you may even learn something from this unlikely pair and their special guest. The mic is yours, Paul and Sean.
Hello, MotoAmerica fans, and welcome to this latest edition of Off Track with Carruthers and Bice, a special video edition on a little bit of a rainy Thursday at New Jersey Motorsports Park, but it's going to be clear the rest of the weekend. We're supposed to have awesome weather, so hoping to see all you fans out here. This is a well-attended round for us. I am Bice. Carruthers is on the other side here, and in the middle we have Loris Baz, who's a member of the, it took me a minute to figure this out. I lost my mind. Warhorse,
HSBK
Let him struggle.
Racing, Ducati New York.
Warhorse, HSBK Racing,
Ducati
New York. I wanted to say HSBK Racing first, but it's actually Warhorse first. So, and there's 3 brands involved in that, and they've got a really good sized program, real big footprint, and a lot of support. Obviously, Loris is from France, but they've got Italian engineers on the team as well as some American personnel too. And we talked to Loris before we actually started the season, so we had him on. We talked to him about eating burgers and not eating burgers. I remember that whole conversation. But now that he's almost through a full season of MotoAmerica, we thought it would be a good time to have him on. And in this video edition, we can talk to him. So how's it going, Laura? It's kind of an open question, but...
Yeah, I mean, not the way we expected that at the beginning, but I'm having a lot of fun. I found some nice people. You know, I came as a rider, and I think I found a family in the US with those guys from Warhorse, HSBK, Ducati New York. As you said, that's like 3 brands, 3 family together, and I feel like I'm part of those guys now. And we went through a lot of up and down all season, and I think that just made us stronger together. So I'm really enjoying working with them, to be honest. And even if we had bad moments, I think the project was much more new than what I expected at the beginning, let's say, and we needed more time than what I expected to make, just to make a team, you know, to build a team together and to be as strong as we wanted. But it's a massive challenge. The targets have changed through the year, and but every time we go on the bike, we give our best, and we try hard, and I hope we can score a win before the end of the season.
Do you realize? I don't know if you do, but maybe you do. There's nothing harder than motorcycle road racing in my mind, but motorcycle road racing in a foreign country for the entire season has got to be particularly hard. Now, I know the United States is a country that a lot of people from other countries aspire to visit and be part of, but the fans can be tough. I don't get the sense at all, and probably Paul doesn't either. You have a lot of fans in this country. The social media,
maybe more than home.
It's I don't know about that, but I don't think anybody gets on you because you're not from this country. I think people really embrace what you're doing. You are creating a big fan base here in the U.S.
Yeah, I have this feeling from the beginning, and I think when the people watch the first races and you know, they enjoy the way I ride, and I try hard and try to be honest with myself and the people. So yeah, I mean. I've only good memory with all the fans I met this year, and some races just been incredible. Like, I don't know, Road America, Laguna Seca, a lot of people. Even Laguna was a great weekend for us, but Road America was tough. But even the people came, and we had a great support. I received a ton of message on Instagram and Facebook from people. The last one I received was from a marshal that picked my bike up in the ridge and sent me like a 1-page message to encourage all the team, and so that's really nice. I really like it, and especially after the last season with no fans basically in Europe,
right? It
was cool to see a lot of fans around the track this year.
Yeah, and I mean, when we were at Road Atlanta, I think Paul and I even talked about this. When you had crashed, the fans were really cheering, and I thought, are they cheering because he crashed, or are they cheering because they like him? And it turns out I think they were actually cheering because they really like you a lot. Did you get that impression?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was leading the race, fighting with Matthew, and I crashed, and I, just pick up the bike, try to restart, and then I had to walk away, and I could hear all the fans just cheering. And I mean, I jumped the fence, and they were all telling me, "Oh, try again tomorrow, congratulations." So I think they know that it's not an easy job. They know it's tough to just start a new project and a new season with no testing and just trying to go for it. And I've put my heart on that, like everyone in the team, just trying it as hard as I can, and try to put a great show on every race. Even if the race, I know it's going to be tough after qualifying when we don't have the pace. I try on the race. You know, I'm a fighter and I always try. So I think that's maybe one of the reasons people like me, and it's cool. It's cool. I mean, I prefer these than people don't like me. You know.
Not talking about the results directly, but talking about the series as a whole. How has your experience been here compared to what you thought it would be coming in?
Well, as I said, I mean, I came as a rider and just to ride a bike and race a bike and do my job, and I found some really great people, and I feel like it's my family now. You know, they're my friend for sure. So this is great. Talking about the racing, it's been harder than what we expected, but the overall picture, you know, not just the races, but just putting a team together. I mean, everything is new. This is like a wedding from 3 different brands between HSBK, Warhorse, Ducati, and myself, and we just had to create a team, and it's not easy. You know, you need a lot of people, and you need a lot of good people to make this bike work. This bike come straight from Europe. All the parts come from Italy. There is the COVID making the things harder. The project happened so late. It's been hard to travel, hard to organize testing. We started the season with no testing, basically, apart from the official testing in Kota. We didn't test the bike. So it's been, that was the most challenging part that honestly I didn't expect. When we started the season, everyone was talking about learning the track, learning the tires, learning the bike. But these definitely haven't been the hardest. I think the hardest has just been putting everything together, you know, just the team working together, the team understanding, like me, we changed a couple of guys during the season too, so it haven't been easy, you know. I feel like since Laguna, we start to have like a team working well together, and we can, you know, understand each other and making progress. So that's been the most challenging part.
I think at Coda you had a good test. Obviously, the lap times, everything was a good test for Coda. But then I think we go to Road Atlanta. I don't know how valuable the Coda. Does it give you a reference that's not maybe so accurate because it's such a different track than where we race everywhere else?
Honestly, I expect it to be fast in Kota, no doubt. I knew after Kota, I told the team that we should not really look the result from Kota because definitely 90%, like 99% of the track here are different than Kota. But I knew we were going to be fast. I expected Road Atlanta to be much harder than it was, even if we scored 0 points. It's strange to say that, but we were really fast there, and I didn't expect that. We did another track. It's one of the hardest I ever been to, and still I was leading the race when I crashed, and in the top 3 when the bike broke in race 2. So I think I knew that I was going to struggle more than I was in Kota after the test, but after being so fast in Atlanta, I expected, okay, maybe the bike works in this kind of track. But then we went in, like the hard part came in the second one in VIR, where really the bike is the first time we had some trouble on the bike and we had to start to change the setup. And it took us like 3-4 races to find a basic setup that properly works. I think we've been too lucky in Atlanta with the bike. We showed up in FP1 and we didn't touch any click on the bike.
Right.
And the bike was working. And then in VIR, we started to have some trouble on the bike that we had to sort out, and just a different track, you know. And then VIR was really tough, and we started to improve slowly after VIR.
We've talked about this before, but the other bikes seem to have a larger box for where everything works well, where the Ducati's a small box.
Yeah.
Are you in the box, or you don't know and from track to track?
Yeah, I think honestly that for sure the box, the window is really narrow where the bike is walking, and it's not the same window in every track, which is a bit difficult when you have to learn the track as well as the team learn the tracks. The bike never been to all of the tracks, or even the gearing. We have to find the gearing in every track. In Pittsburgh, we've been trying gearing in race 2. So But yeah, the window is pretty narrow, and when you're out of the window, you can easily be like a second and a half slower than what you are. You know, it's just not a couple of tenths. So yeah, that makes it hard, and I know that's also what World Superbike riders complain about, is that we've seen last race that Scott P12 in the first race and
Right.
he got P3 in race 2, and they basically change nothing, you know, just a couple of things, and the bike start to work. So, but that's challenging, and I think it's like Pittsburgh, you know. Sometimes when you arrive on a track, you try to guess the best setup. We arrived there. I knew the track from the track there with V4S, and I expected the bike to work really well there with the setup we had from Laguna and Brainerd. And in FP1 it was just a disaster. The bike was not working. So on Friday night we changed everything, and we found a good setup just before the race one. So yeah, I mean it's a bit of a lottery every time you arrive to a track, and you have to guess the setup and the gearing and those things. But again, we know that was going to be the challenge, and it's been harder than I expected. But I still love the challenge. I love coming to a new track, and every time having to start from zero again. It's something that I really like. You know, I put a lot of energy on this. I've been riding as hard as ever, and putting a lot of energy this season on this bike and on this project. And I hope we can finish on a high note, strong performance in the last 2 rounds, because everybody in the team and back in Italy deserve that.
So a second season here would eliminate a lot of those issues, because you would start where you finished this year. Are we going to see you back for another season with the team?
Yeah, I don't know. We're talking. I know. The team would like me to stay. I will not mind staying here another season for sure. Even if that was not the plan at the beginning, but I mean, yeah, as you said, a second season will make the things easier. We could start the season much earlier, having winter test already this year and beginning of next year. So that will be, I mean, it will be another completely another season, just being able to test before the season. So I don't know. We will see. We'll see with Bobby and the guys from Warhorse. I feel good with them. We started to talk a couple of races ago. Nothing is done, but that's the idea at the moment, is to stay here and try to be better next year.
So while you're in the U.S., I understand you mostly live in Pennsylvania. Do you consider New Jersey Motorsports Park to kind of be your home track, if you had a home track? Because you've done a track day or two here. I think you've been here before, right?
Yeah, I did a track there like I did in a lot of track, but it's for sure the home run from the team, because we're so close to New York and the race. It was cool just to drive here, you know. It took us
Right.
a couple of hours and we were here, so that was nice. But in terms of knowing the track, I don't know if this will change anything. We rode here only once with the race bike on a track day with many people on track, and that was back in April when it was raining, cold. So
It was cold. I remember.
yeah, I don't think it changed a lot, but at least we have an idea from the gearing and the setup of the bike, which we basically never had this year, apart from I think Laguna, because we had some data from the World Superbike team. So, and we saw that as soon as we have some data, the bike works much better, and we know how to make the bike work. So yeah, but for sure it will be cool to have like a lot of people from the team, from the Warhorse and Ducati New York are coming. They hear the project from the beginning, and they can see the bike on track. So that's nice.
Yeah, and let's talk about the fact that it's a local team, kind of. I mean, Pennsylvania, but certainly your sponsors, Ducati New York is in New York, and Warhorse is in New York as well. Let's talk about your helmet a little bit. So if you guys notice, Loris's helmet is this weekend, of course, is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And Loris, tell us about your helmet and what you had done to it. It's amazing. It looks terrific.
Well, I mean, we know 9/11 is a special date, and having the team from New York, and I mean, I was really young. I was at school, and I still remember exactly the
I was going to
moment.
ask you. You remember?
Yeah, exactly. I remember going out of school, jumping in the car, and my mom telling me something happened, and listening to the radio. So every people in the world remember where it was that day, and just to pay tribute to all the people that lost their lives, and all the firefighters that have been fighting and trying to save lives. We decided, well, I wanted to do something, and then the team, I talked together with the team and Ducati New York, so trying to find some idea, and we just took the idea to put the kind of the skyline with the tower in the back, and the base of the helmet is like the firefighter helmet, trying with the same design, the light here. Just putting some nice things in. I just gave the idea to the guy that make my design back in France, and he came up with this design. It was tough to get it painted because everyone was in holiday in August, so I was rushing them. I had the helmet like 5 hours before to jump on the plane coming back.
So it
here.
was done in France?
Yeah, it was painted in France. And
Wow,
so
that's
yeah,
great.
we made it together with LS2 France. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I don't know what we're gonna do with the helmet still. Maybe selling it on auction. I don't know. I have to talk with the guys from Ducati New York and giving the money to the fire department or something like this. But yeah, I mean, it's mainly great to pay tribute to all those guys, and especially the firefighter that are not only in this occasion, but I mean in a lot of occasions are helping us a lot. So
It's terrific. The Twin Towers on the back here in 20 years. Of course, this is the 20th.
yeah, it's feels strange to think that it's already 20
Will you
years.
race and practice or just race?
I think I will use all weekend because even if tomorrow it's one day earlier, but I mean, a lot of pictures are made on
Sure.
tomorrow, and I know that people want to see picture on track. So, and I really like how it looks. I mean, it's better to use it all 3 days.
You know, the numbers with riders have gotten pretty iconic. We know certainly right now, you know, everybody knows 32 is Gagne, at least in MotoAmerica, and Matthew Scholz has been 11 for a long time. 76 is a little bit of a different number. Usually they're a little bit lower, but you've had 76 in your past racing. What's the significance of the 76? How did you come about that number?
Well, I always had the 65. I'm called Loris because my dad and my mom used to really like Loris Capirossi. I'm born in 93, and he was world champion 1991. And so I always had the 65. And then when I moved up to Superbike in 2012, this happened mid-season when I replaced last course. And the team asked me to choose a number because the 65 was Johnny's rare number, even if he's using the one for a long time now. But yeah, that was his number at that time. And I had to change my number. So I wanted to keep one of the 6 out of 5. I kept the 6. And I just, when I moved to Superbike, I just did the 24 Hours of Le Mans before that. And I was the youngest ever on the podium, and I was riding with the yard that had the number 7. And I just put both numbers together, and I really like how it looks. So I just, the part of France where I live is the 74. So everybody asked me why I'm not using the 74, but that was the Eijiro Kato number.
Right.
And
Yes.
so I never used that number for this reason. So yeah, 76. And then I could have used the 65 again after that, but I mean, since that day, people know me, as you said, with the 76, and they know it's my number. I even managed to have my dad a tattoo from the 76. So
Wow.
and my dad hates tattoos, so but he lost a bet and he had to make the tattoo. So see, if I change them, I joke with him a lot that I'm gonna change my number sometime, and he say, if you change your number, you better have something after 6. That's it.
So for you fans out there, I mean, obviously the numbers mean so much to these riders. It's not just about the number 1 if you get that, because sometimes when you get number 1, we've seen they don't use it, but Loris 76 has become part of that. And it's interesting about Loris Capirossi. Now we understand the Loris part of it, because I wouldn't say Loris is necessarily a French name too much, but you probably don't know too many other Frenchmen that are named Loris, huh?
A little bit now, and it's funny because I remember being in the paddock and being a pain with Loris and all his family, because I was knocking in the motorhome and I wanted to see him, and every race I was going, I wanted to see him and have a picture with him. So I have picture being smaller than him, and really fast I was taller than him.
I know, you must have been 12 when you
Yeah,
were short.
I think I was 12 and I was taller than him. Exactly, that's it. And now I have people coming in the paddock. Some guys coming and say, "Oh, my name is Loris because of Loris Capirossi," and some, "Oh, my name is Loris because my parents really like you." And I'm like, "Oh,
Wow,
So
there you go.
You know, so this is starting. You know, so it's funny. I mean, but no, not so many people are named like this. But my granddad was Italian, so I have some Italian blood too.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's common to say this year that we are Gypsy King in the team because we have Italians and moving. My data guy is going back and forward, Warhorse Superbike and here. So we live with our bags basically, and we have bags everywhere. And I lose things, and I can find them in the truck. And so yeah, I was Gypsy since I'm born. You know, Italian, French, living in Switzerland. So I used to live in Spain. So.
Is your last name, is it shortened?
No.
It's just Baz.
Yeah.
But does it have a meaning?
No.
Okay, it's just a name, and is it a name that's?
No, I mean, yeah. My granddad had 20 brothers and sisters, so it's a big name, common name where we live. The good thing is I'm one of the only rider in the world that can put his full name on the TV, you know?
Oh,
we
yeah,
have only the
true.
3 letters and always had my full name.
That's right.
So that's
another good
I have a
point.
good Caparossi story. My son came to Laguna Seca back when they raced 500s there. And so my dad was taking him through all the teams because my dad knows everybody. And Caparossi's always been one of my dad's favorites. And so he took my son into the pit, and he said, Loris, how's it going? And he says, Kel, the bike is shit. The tires are shit. The racetrack is shit. And my son came out and he was like, he said shit. My son was just small.
Yeah.
But everything was shit.
Everything is shit. But yeah, this happens sometimes.
Yeah.
When
You
one,
could probably say that.
Yeah. I think I did say that maybe a couple of times this year.
Let's talk about your competition. I specifically want to ask you about Jake Gagne and also about the R1 because you mentioned Yart. You have logged a lot of laps on an R1. You know the bike very well. What's he doing? I mean, do you see him doing things that you would expect somebody riding an R1 to be able to do? I mean, is it a mystery to you at all, or do you understand it?
No, it's not a mystery. I think it's just confidence are a big thing in our world. When you're a racer and you race 250 horsepower bikes on some small track, bumpy like this, confidence is a big thing. So I think he's just in a high confidence now, and he had the big boosts having his first win this year, and he just
built on that.
Yeah, built on that, and he's skiing on that thing, and every time you win, you have more confidence, and the confidence bring result bring luck. So it's all together. He's doing a really great job, But if you compare to last year, it
Right.
turned this around a lot this winter. That's why I'm saying testing is really important, because he turned this around by testing this winter, having confidence, riding with no pressure, not looking the lap time, and you build confidence. So he's doing a really good job. We know that the R1 is a strong bike. I think that his team is doing a really good job too. They have a lot of knowledge in every track. We faster most of the track than what Cam was doing last year, and Cam was winning the race with 20 seconds, and most of the track this year we've been like the top 3-4 have been faster than him last year. So I think Jake, but not only him, the team are pulling up the level. The bike's working well, and most of the time in FP1, when we're trying to look for our gearing, in lap 5 is already doing lap record time. So you're like, oh, we have some job to do to catch him,
I think am I wrong in thinking that he's winning these races though in the first 2 laps?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's work to do after that, but in 2 laps, if he's 4 seconds ahead.
But that's a funny thing, I think Jake was for sure not known as a good start.
No, it's horrible.
He never did a good start. I've been racing with him in World Super, and I think he never did a good start before this season ever in his life. And this year he's doing the whole shot in every race. So this just come from confidence, and he managed to go really fast in lap 1. He's been lucky a couple of times too, because like Brainerd when he crashed and then he managed to restart. But yeah, he put a lot of effort in lap 1 to make his life easier in the next laps. So that's every time I've been able to start not so far from him, like Laguna. So what I tried to do to put pressure from lap 1 on him. That was the thing, it's what we had to improve a lot this year. Is when we are pretty good in qualifying, some run we were losing everything in lap 1. So Laguna, I know the bike was well, and it's what I really wanted to do, was starting right behind him, trying to put pressure from lap 1. And hats off to him. It's what I'm saying every race. I go to see him, I congratulate him, and I say hats off he's doing an amazing job, and he deserves all the win he had, and we're just trying to be stronger to catch him soon.
The Brainerd race that you mentioned pretty much tells the story of the season, right? Because he falls down and maybe the handlebar is loose or whatever, and then the next corner you fall down and the bike cartwheels and basically breaks in half.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically the season in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know. I don't like to talk about luck, but sometimes you need to talk about luck. And I think if this is not, I mean, we can call it whatever we want. Of course, I should not have crashed and the bike would have been good. But I mean, yeah, as you said, he crashed. He didn't have the handlebars. They managed to repair. He restarted P1 and then I crashed. I cannot restart and I start the next race P12. So just make the life harder. But that's the life. I mean, I think if you don't have to wait the luck to come. You know, you cannot say just sit down and say, "Oh, I'm unlucky and I have to wait." So if you just wait for the luck, just stay home. But I think they have been doing all the job they needed in this winter to have the confidence, and so I think if you can create this circle, you create the luck too.
I'm going to bring this up, and I'm only going to bring it up because you stir the pot a little bit as well with your Instagram, etc. But like the hard passes that we've had, or hard passes depending on who's speaking about it, and then on Instagram you say, oh, you know, I go for the hole in one or whatever, and you tag those guys. I like that, by the way. I like that you poke the bear a little bit. And then the Senna video where he talks about making passes, and if there's a hole there, you got to go for it. That's the way you came in. That's the way you race, and it's a little different than what these guys are used to. But no, what?
It's not different than what these guys are used to. It's just some riders don't like someone to overtake them the way they overtake their guys. That's it.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
So they complain about something that they will do.
Yeah, I think it's something they would do, but I don't think they don't do it to each other because maybe they have friendship or whatever. And you come in, you don't worry about it.
Believe me, if Matthew is fighting with Jake, he will do that. You know. So I don't care. I mean, I don't care at all.
But you do like stirring it.
They should, yeah, because I like the close racing. I like racing. I love races. And races is about going in front of the guy you have in front. It's not about staying where you are.
Right.
You know, if not, you just do track days and you try to improve your own lap time. And I mean, what people like to see, it's a starting grid with 20. If not, there is no way to put 20 bikes in the starting grid. You know that something gonna happen in turn one. The best way is to start one behind the other, and you should that it's safer. So what people like is racing, and I mean, I've been enjoying a lot watching World Superbike this year between Toprak and Johnny, and they didn't do any present to each other. You know, Toprak is a hard guy. I've been fighting with him a lot, and it's one of the guys that I really love to fight with, because you can fight really hard, he will never complain, you know. And I mean, a couple of riders have been complaining this year, but that's it. Most of them, like, I don't know. I haven't been able to fight with Jake enough, but I know he's not complaining. I had a big battle in Thailand with him like 3 years ago, I think, and I remember he's a hard one too. I know Herring doesn't complain too much neither. Tony doesn't complain. I've been fighting with him too. So, I mean, they should just watch more World Superbike and not complain.
But when somebody puts a hard pass on you, you're okay with it?
Yeah, I don't care. As soon as he doesn't come from 20 meters behind and hit my back wheels and I fly over the moon,
right?
I'm okay, you know. But I mean, this can happen, you know. In 2016 in MotoGP, the 5 first straight of the season, I've been taken out in the first corner. Sometimes really stupid moves, sometimes normal moves. And this end up with 17 fracture in my foot in Mugello, you know, with Bautista. But it was not his fault, you know. He just came, lost the front, and the bike hit me. I mean, it's racing, as I said, so I'm okay. I'm okay with close racing, and that's it. I don't complain. So.
This weekend is the first of final 2 rounds we've got back to back. So I want to ask you about a couple things, going back to back. And also, we got 3 races this week, and we have 3 races next weekend at Barber Motorsports Park. All good with you? You're okay with that? That too much?
No. I like it. The first time I've done 3 races was 2010 in BSB, and I really liked it. As I told you, I love races. I don't like qualifying. I don't like testing. I'm just doing this because it's the way to improve for race. But I like racing, so If we could do 5 races a weekend, I would be happy. I have to make the bike a little bit easier to ride than it was the last round, because it was tough for the hump and all those things. But I think we have an idea to make the bike a little bit easier to ride too. And so yeah, I'm happy. It's also, I think the fans like it. Fans, if you come to race weekend, you can see the same guy racing 3 times. That's really good.
For you, this should be a big help too, right? I mean, you can improve the bike.
Yeah, exactly. For us, it's
Potentially
better.
3
Yeah.
times, yeah.
I would like to have. I think, yeah, if I could have changed something in the rules this year, would have been to have 2 races on Sunday. That's it.
Right.
And testing Friday, Saturday. That would have made our life much easier. But it's the way it is, and it's the same for everyone.
I want to ask you something a little bit off topic. We've talked about this off the podcast before, but I want the fans to understand. You've become kind of iconic about Chatel and what that is. Can you tell us about what the hat means?
Well, it's just one of my sponsors. So it's a small. It's a city, a village in France, who are really famous for the ski resort in the winter and cycling, running, trail, downhill cycling in the summer. It's pretty close from where I live. It's not where I'm born, but I really like the guys there, and I like going there. And they've been my sponsor since my main personal sponsor in 2016 or 17, I think. And when I signed in MotoAmerica, I was like, oh, I might lose them, because I'm not sure there are a lot of interest about having some shuttle caps in the US, but the guy was like, no way, I really like it. And it's also funny because everyone asked me about that, and I can show them on the map where it is and the pictures. And so I hope that as soon as it's easier to travel, some American people goes there and enjoy skiing there.
Yeah, I mean, it's whenever I see it, I think of you, and the fact I always think snow. So I'm thinking of you in snowmobiles, because that's a big thing for you. And not so much skiing, but snowmobiling you enjoy doing a lot in the wintertime.
Yeah, snowmobile and ice riding with my bike, but yeah, mainly snowmobile. That's the first thing I ever rode. I'm basically born on a snowmobile. It's pretty hard to ride in France. Like the laws are not really nice with that, but still I ride. My mom used to have a restaurant up in the mountains, so that was the only way to go. And I'm reopening that restaurant this winter with one of my friends. It's been closed for 20 years. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed riding snowmobile. It's just a way to refresh the mind in the winter, and you see some nice things. So I have to organize something definitely in the US, a trip here. It's a long time we want to do it with my dad. So hopefully I can sort that out this winter.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in northern New York, and that's kind of where I started getting involved. Motorcycles came out of snowmobiling, and that's what we did in the wintertime. It was so fun to go out and do a campfire and whatever, but it got you out of the house with all those long winters in northern New York. So
I want to go ice riding too with PJ if I come back in the winter. Yeah, I know he's pretty fast at it, so I ride at home too, so would love to organize that.
Yeah. Well, great. So this is the second podcast we've had with you. I'm glad that we got you on video so everybody can see, and everybody's been seeing a lot of you this year too. We really hope you'll be back with us next year. I think a year under your belt and with that team, it'd be great to see you. You've like I said, you're a fan favorite in our paddock, and terrific to have you around. And Warhorse, HSBK Racing, Ducati, New York. I had to get that right this time. So, but good luck this weekend, Loris, and next weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.